who truly liberated the slaves? It's kind of obvious. Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Oh, you mean his Emancipation Proclamation? The same proclamation that allowed them no money, no education, no property, and no guidance as to how to function in society? That Emancipation Proclamation? Well, if you took a history class, you would know that our Constitution does say all men are created equal. Yes, the U.S. Constitution. Look, man, I'm proud to be an American as well. But this is the same Constitution that attributed a black man 3/5 the value of a white man. I mean, you know what? Fine. Let's give them credit. Let's say that Abraham Lincoln did free the slaves and the U.S. Constitution did establish equality among people. But what type of liberation did they truly achieve for Americans? Black people earn significantly less than non-black people in America? More black people are in jail than are actually in college? This is the equality that you're trying to point out? Is this the freedom that black people have waited 400 years to attain? Fine, granted. But let's face it, there's no such example of a person or a nation that said all men are equal and then truly lived by it. It's just not possible. It's never been done before. An example does exist. A very clear-cut example exists, and it's extremely well documented in history. It's just that most people don't take the time to actually learn about it. What do you know about the Prophet Muhammad? What do you know of what he's done for mankind? Have you ever taken a moment to truly study Muhammad? Really, Muhammad, that's your answer? Look, man, I'm not some history buff, but there's one thing I know for sure. This guy lived 1400 years ago. What does he know about black suffrage in the 21st century? Better yet, what does he know about the 400 years of suffrage and turmoil that black people have gone through? Muhammad does know. He knows because he lived among slaves himself. He didn't just talk words, he took action. He championed peace and equality for all mankind. For example, he made Bilal, a former Abyssinian black slave, a general, a chief general in his army. He made other slaves his Secretary of State, his treasurers, his ambassadors, governors of different provinces. Can any other person in history be credited for these type of examples? It didn't just stop there. The fact of the matter is, and history testifies to this, that many of the free people enslaved and brought over to America from Africa were Muslims. They were kings, they were queens, they were physicists, astronomers, they were scientists, they were doctors, they were professors. This was the great height that the black empire, the black people had achieved. How? Through the teachings of Islam, through the example of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of God be upon him. He said, and I quote, "A black is no better than a white, and a white is no better than a black. You are all equal in the eyes of God." Wow, it's pretty intense, man. How do you know all this? How do you know any of this? I know this because I'm a Muslim who believes in the Messiah.